Okay, hello, welcome to this YouTube video of what it costs to go across the country on a bicycle. Now, I just completed a trip from Northeast Ohio to San Diego, California. I'm going to make this video as short and sweet as possible. Everything from my gear to my clothes to my panniers, what it costs, so if you're planning a trip, you have an idea of what you're going to need to bring and how much money you're going to need to save. So, I'm going to go really quick. I'm not going to explain things too much. We'll get started with the back two panniers. These are Ortlieb panniers. I got a good deal on them. They're really expensive. I only paid $105. This one was just food, so there was, it's empty now, but because it's been 2 weeks. So food went in here, and that was pretty much it. I had a camp stove in here too. I didn't end up using it. I sent it home. That was I was borrowing that, so I didn't pay for that. See, I had a spare chain in here. A spare chain I ended up using $23. I don't recommend getting a spare chain. You're not going to break a chain. Just wait till it's stretched, go to a bike shop, and then buy a chain then. It's just added weight. Brake pads, spare brake pads, $15 I spent on that. I never needed to change my brake pads. And a spork. I ended up keeping my spork. I ended up using it. That was $15. You can get cheap sporks. That was in titanium. And I had a Leatherman. I don't know where it went, but I had a Leatherman. I paid $30 for that. And I also had in this bag, Anchor cell bank. I don't know what they call these, power banks. This was, my sisters let me borrow this. So I did not have to pay for this, but I recommend this. They are awesome. Okay, into the next bag. This was lighter than it looks. It was big because I had my sleeping bag. This was $140. Shower sandals was I got from somebody from my family. This was $5. A extension cord. I highly recommend one of these. $30 for a toiletry bag. Another toiletry bag, but I used for electronics like my camera batteries, all my cords to charge my computer and my phone. This was $30. Chamois cream, I didn't use this a lot. This was $20, but I used it enough where it was worth having. The hot days and the long days. Peanut butter. Inflatable sleeping pad. This was $90. They can go all the way up to like $200, but I wanted one that was super small, so I paid the extra like $40 to get this size. Okay, so that was my rear panniers, more or less. I also had in the back, on the back rack, my tent. This was $70. It was used, bought off a friend. Most tents, new tents these days, go for $400 or $500. So I recommend getting a new tent. And that's a one person. Don't get a one person, get a 2-person or 1.5 person, because it was a pain in the butt to put all my stuff and myself in that tent. So now the front bags, two front Ortlieb roll top panniers. These I got for $95, quite a deal, new. They usually run a lot higher than that, but these were $100 with the cleats. You don't have to have cleats, but if you want to get up the hills easier, I'd recommend it. This is a bag I had. I used for shopping, or if I went somewhere else on my bike. I didn't want to have my panniers on my back. On my bike, I wore this bag. Came in handy. I recommend a small bag like that. And all this stuff is like my rain gear. This is a light rain jacket, windbreaker, good stuff. It was expensive, $125 by a company called Shower Pass, I think. I use this a lot. Winter gloves, these were $90. Kind of rainproof as well. It was cold, obviously. I started in November, so yeah, very cold. Used that a lot. I use these a lot. These were shoe covers for the rain and obviously the freezing weather. These were $65. Expensive, but worth it. A pair of regular just biking gloves. These were $50. I recommend getting a pair for like $30 or $20. $50 is outrageous. These are my leg warmers, leg sleeves. These were $50. I wore these all the time. I recommend those if you're riding in the winter, or if it's just really chilly in the morning, if you do a lot of morning riding. These were laying in the house. These were gloves I wore under my gloves because it was so cold. Arm sleeves. I wore these 3 times. These are $25. The sweater I wore while riding was enough warmth for my arms, so I didn't really need this. Waste of money. Oh, I also put, kept hand warmers and toe warmers in here. I mean, I probably paid like $20 all trip with all these. Oh, these were a gift. These were Gore-Tex rain pants. I would never have survived without these. These were amazing. Block the wind, block the rain. But if you buy them, they're very expensive. So I was fortunate. The balaclava I found laying around my house. I wore when I was sleeping when it was really, really freezing at night. And a pack towel. This is $18. I used this about 7 to 8 times. I'd say enough to be worth it for those shower houses in the parks and stuff. And this came in handy. This is a dry sack from sea to summit. This is also $18. I use this to wash all my clothes in at the hotels and whatnot. Headlamp I found in the house. Highly recommend a headlamp. Much easier than a flashlight or using your phone when you're at camp. Spare tube. I had 2 spare tubes. $20 for 2 spare tubes. I ended up using 1. I don't know how I only ended up using 1. I got super lucky, only 1 flat tire, but I'd recommend carrying at least 1 of these. Alright, the other front pannier down jacket I got as a gift. I used this every night because it was cold every night. This was my jacket I wore almost every day while riding. This was $90, but well worth it because I wear it now. It's nice and it did the job. I had 3 shirts I wore. 2 I already had. The 3rd I bought for $30 because it was cool and it was bright. So I didn't want to obviously get hit by a car. That would end your trip and potentially your life. These are specific like riding shorts. Like I wanted them because they had the zippers here. I could put things in them without them falling while I was riding. These were a gift too. Winter hat I already had. 3 pairs of wool socks. I recommend wool over cotton any day of the week. I'm never going back to cotton. These things were awesome. You could wear them and sweat in them and then ride them the next day and they'd still feel somewhat fresh. So 3 pairs were $60. 2 like bike shorts, jammy shorts, whatever you want to call them, from Garneau. These were $40 a piece, so they were $80. Half roll of toilet paper. It didn't take up that much space and I used it 1 time, but I was very thankful I had it that 1 time. And a map set, you can use Google if you want, but I'd recommend not doing that because Google sucks. I love Google, but if you want to get anywhere on a bicycle using Google, just be prepared to be disappointed. To get a set of maps, these were $120, and I split it with my friend, so it was $60. And I had a pair of sweatpants too, $30. Yeah, that I wore, when I got to camp. And then this is the handlebar bag. I paid full price, retail price for this. This was $125. So the 2 rear bags I got for $105, and this 1 small handlebar bag was $125. Yeah, that sucked, but I used it a lot. I had this map case I bought. This was $30. It fit right here, so I could just look at the map in front of my face and not get lost. And that's it. That's it for the bags. Now I'm going to go outside to the bike and all the accessories on the bike. Alright, so it was too windy outside and my camera doesn't have an external mic, so I brought the bike inside. We'll start with the bike itself. So this is a Fuji touring bike I bought new. It was $750 before tax. It's probably one of the cheapest new touring bikes you can find. Most are over $1,000, all the way up to $5,000. So, but it works. So I'd recommend. You can actually use any bike if you really want to. I just wanted one that was kind of built to do this. And we'll go to the front. I bought this front rack for $120, so kind of expensive, but I needed it. The front light was $30. The front and rear fenders were $40. I was going to say you can go without the fenders, but you don't really want to do that. Keeps everything clean and working well. This is a computer up here. It's wireless, so it's hooked up here. The magnet rolls around and tells you how fast you're going, how many miles you've gone, all that stuff. That was $40. One of my favorite accessories. The tire inflator, tire pump was $60. The lock I already had. These pedals I bought, they're like flat here, clip-ons here. They were $50 from a company called Crank Brothers. It's called Crank Brothers Double Shot. They're pretty cool. I bought a Brooks saddle. I got a good price on it, $95. They're really expensive. You can use any, as long as it's a long distance saddle. You don't have to go for something incredibly expensive. But I got a good deal on this. These gear ties I got at Home Depot. They were $7. They helped hold my tent together. And the back rack came with the bike itself. And I think that, and the rear lights. I had 2 rear lights back here. Together they were $55. Oh, and the 2 bottles were $30. And the cages I found or already had. So that's it. I think that covers everything. I don't know what that totals. I haven't added it up yet. I don't want to do that. All the money I spent, but it should be. I should have it up on the screen somewhere. Some tally. So thanks for watching. So this is the price I paid for my bike and the gear, the clothes, all that stuff to get ready for a trip. And mind you, it was during the winter, so some of the stuff you don't need clothing-wise when you're doing it in the summertime. And you can obviously get away with a much cheaper setup than I did, and you can obviously spend thousands more dollars than I did as well. So hope this helps. Good luck and have fun riding. Thanks for watching.